So I'm here today with my friend Gabe Fox-Peck. He's an expert on the art plunder during World War II and the Nazi regime. So I'm going to start out with a pretty broad question. So discuss the post-war societal effects in Europe from the art plunder.
First of all, on a question. Second of all, they were very broad, just as your question, or should I say statement was. So virtually all the countries involved in the conflict were stolen from by the Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
And as one would expect, all were very anxious to regain their art. And this extended the post-war resentment that was present in the greater Europe.
Mm-hmm.
So many of these countries established organizations so that they could investigate the crimes and ascertain all of the stolen artwork.
Mm-hmm.
One such commission was the Soviet State Extraordinary Commission for Ascertaining and Investigating the Crimes Committed by the German fascist invaders and their accomplices. This was established in November 1942 and basically served to investigate and ascertain all of the stolen art.
Right, of course. So, as demand was very high for art in Europe, obviously, with all the theft going on, but I mean, rivalries between Hitler and Goering, to get artists such as Vermeer, 35, 36 in the world, that's only about 3 dozen. So, how would this have created an environment where forgery was big and could thrive?
Yes, so as you mentioned, forgery sort of reigned king in the World War II and period immediately following, and to this day, actually, as there are many art pieces that are still missing from the Nazi era. So, first of all, one should look at just the sheer amount of art that was stolen by the Nazis, and this amounts to roughly 20% of all European art. Now that's an enormous number. So with this lack of all these rare paintings and statues, etc., the forger really was able to reign king.
Mm-hmm.
So many forgers, such as Han van Meegeren, were able to take advantage of this and create passable forgeries of famous pieces of art and then sell them for enormous amounts of money. So his most famous one, which he spent lots of time on, sort of known now as the perfect forgery, was of Vermeer, as you mentioned, the Supper at Emmaus, and this masterful forgery really took Europe by storm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, lots of critics and connoisseurs, as they thought of themselves, really sort of fell to their knees at this piece. When we look at it today, it looks like it's lifeless, no character. How could von Meegeren have created such an, I mean, almost ugly work of art and passed it for one of the most beautiful Vermeers of all time? How?
Well, I think the general public just really wanted it to be real, and this delusion that was a result of the sheer horror created by the Nazi Party was a major contributor to its acceptance into the art world. Beyond that, there's not much to be said. I think since there were no photos taken of it, no one knew exactly what it looked like. They just had a general idea, and it worked.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fox-Peck.
No problem.